The Motor-Free Visual Perception Test, 4th edition, is an individually administered assessment of visual perceptual skills commonly used in everyday activities. The MVPT-4 tasks provide information for 5 types of visual perceptual abilities, which include spatial relationships, visual discrimination, figure ground, visual closure, and visual memory. The directions for administration can be found on page 21 of the manual. The record form should be placed in front of the examinee such that she cannot see what's being recorded. At the start of the session, the examiner should tell the examinee the following. Today you will look at some designs, and I will ask you a question about each one. Some of the things you will do will be very easy, and some will be harder. But just try your best. The answers to the questions will be on the pages I'll show you. Choose the one that you think is the best answer. You don't have to draw or write anything. You can point to the answer or say the letter that is under it. But you do have to pay attention. Let's try a practice one first. When recording responses, the examinee should say or point to the letter A, B, C, or D that corresponds to the answer choice. On the record form, circle the letter of the answer choice given. If the person gives no response or says, I don't know, encourage him or her to respond. If the examinee then refuses to respond, circle NR. Do not indicate whether a response was correct or incorrect by using check marks, plus marks, slashes, or any other shorthand to record the response. If at any point an answer needs to be rechecked, the meaning of the shorthand may not be apparent. If the examinee must point to the answer choice, instead of saying the letters, the examinee should be positioned to clearly see what choice is indicated. But be sure to keep the record form out of the examinee's sight. And now the Motor-Free Visual Perception Test 4 will be administered.
All right, here's the example. Look at this. And where is it hiding in any of these images?
I don't know. Should I guess?
Yeah, you take a guess and I'll tell you the correct answer. That's just the example. Correct answer is C.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now look at this. And where is it hiding in any of these images?
Oh, I see it. B.
Now look at this. And where is it hiding?
D.
Now look at this. And where is it hiding?
B.
Now we're going to move on to the next section. Alright, here's the example. Each item is presented on 2 pages. I'll show the first page and say, I'm going to show you a shape, and then you'll find it on the next page. Look at this one.
Okay.
Now find it here.
D.
Here's a real first one. Look at this one.
I see it. BXG.
Now find it here.
BXG. Am I doing a good job?
Alright, now look at this one.
A rabbit.
Now find it here.
D.
Now look at this one.
I know what that is.
Now find it here.
C.
next section. Here's the example. Which one of these is turned around compared to the other ones?
A.
That's right. Which one of these are turned around?
Oh, this is easy. D. Which one is turned around?
Mm-hmm.
D. No. D.
Now look at this. Now find it here. It's been turned around.
Oh, I see that. It's very tricky. C. Is that right?
I'll give you your results after the test.
Oh, okay.
Alright? Now look at this. And find it here. It's been turned around.
A.
Alright, now we're at the next section. I'll point to the figure and say, all of these are the same figure. They have just been turned around so that their heads are in different places. But one has been flipped over like a pancake so that it faces the opposite direction from the others. Which one has been flipped over and can't be turned to face the same direction as the others? Which one of these have been flipped over?
C.
Which one of these have been flipped over?
D.
Which one of these have been flipped over?
B.
Now I'm going to move to the next section. I'll point to the figure on the bottom and say, if we finish drawing these figures and didn't move any of the lines, which one will look just like the one on the top?
C. This is taking a long time. Are we almost done?
Yes, we're almost done. If we finish drawing these figures and didn't move any of the lines, which one will look just like the one on top?
C.
If we finish drawing these figures and didn't move any of the lines, which one will look just like the one on top?
I'm not gonna remember what you say, and I won't show you to watch it first. Oh, okay. So if you tell me
D.
and I wait.
When scoring, count the number of correct responses, not including the examples. The correct answer is indicated in bold to facilitate scoring. This is the total raw score. It's important that only one overall score is obtained. There are no subtest scores provided for the MVPT-4. Once the MVPT-4 scores are obtained, which is indicated by the circles on the record form, all of the responses are counted and placed here for the raw score. To interpret the raw score, the interpretation of the results can be found on page 24 of the manual, where it indicates that a score below 55 or above 145 represents the extreme standard scores obtained by less than 0.3% of the population. So in other words, the normal distribution for this particular assessment falls between 55 and 145. The age-specific raw score to standard score conversion can be found in Appendix B of the manual. Since the participant was 27 years old, you would look in this column for age 27, and the raw score was 24. So you would look at the raw score 24, and the standard score would be 68. So then you would look at the conversion of standard scores to other metrics, such as our percentile rate. And we see that 68 standard score is converted to a 2% percentile rank. The percentile rank reflects one person's performance relative to that of the normative population. So for our participant, a 2% percentile rank indicates the person scored as well as or better than 2% of the same aged individuals in the normative population taking the same test.